Bonjour, je suis Maëlle Carvarec, directrice des opérations, développement et communication à SIA Africa. En l'honneur de la Journée internationale des femmes le 8 mars dernier, SIA Africa a mis à l'honneur des femmes au parcours exceptionnel qu'elle raconte dans cet échange. Welcome to today's event. We are having here at SIA Africa in honor of International Women's Day. I'm pleased to be joined by all of you. This is a great panel. You're all role models as entrepreneurs, start-uppers, and leaders. Without any further delay, we will start with Aurora Kiste. So Aurora, if you can tell us a bit about your business and why you accepted to partner with us at SIA Africa.
Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to be here tonight. And thanks to you, I have the opportunity to be exposed to like young Ghanaians, which is the young part of the energy that sometimes I miss, especially like right now during the pandemic. So thank you. I'm the founder and creative director of Makola, as well as like the founder of Ray Power Africa, which are like two companies that are based in Ghana, but we have like an international presence. I would like to start tonight by reading a poem by Rupi, and I hope that the girls that are like following us tonight can like relate to it. I will never be quiet about the way my people resisted so I could be free. Our wounds are the reason I started writing poetry. Every word I've written was to lead us back into our arms. They could take away everything we have, and we could endure this beautiful life up all over again. With the bones in our backs, building an empire from the ground up is exactly what we're good at. Our must be a politic of revolution. Freedom can exist until the most disadvantaged are free. Don't sleep on the doormat of your potential, waiting for things to happen, when you could be the thing that happens. You are one person, but when you move, an entire community walks through you. I really like this poem for tonight because the work that you guys are doing are bringing together like single individuals that wouldn't have like the opportunity to explore certain like careers in their life or meet like certain people. So it's very beautiful to me how you are like connecting like single individual as well as like building this community, because we all stand on the shoulders of someone else. And tonight is like Women's Day to remember like the rights that we earned a while back. But I also think it's very important to reflect and to think what are like the rights and the opportunity that we're bringing and building for other women in the future. So I would like to ask to all of you to think our place in history, what's like the heritage and what are like the things that brought us to this point and what we're doing to pay forward for like the coming generation. And your work and the recipient of the amazing initiative that you launched are like a symbol and are a proof of how amazing it is when we think about how to make like the pie bigger for everyone.
Great, thank you so much, Aurora. So these 5 amazing women were part of the an initiative that we launched a couple of years ago, and they benefited from MTN shares. So it's great to see where they are now and doing amazing things. All right, Shironda, can you tell us a bit about yourself, what you're up to these days?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Sharonda, and I've pretty much just been doing my national service right now. I came to Ghana from China a year ago, and I was supposed to leave last year in March, but I wasn't able to because we didn't think it was, safe to go at that time because the COVID was a little bit too much then. So I ended up not going, and eventually my visa expired, so I can't go back at all right now. So I ended up staying here and graduating from my laptop, and now I'm doing my national service at AESL in Accra. It's Architecture and Engineering Services Limited in Accra, Ghana. And I'm working as a junior architect right now. And yeah, so I studied architecture in China for 5 years. And I've been here and it's been good. I'm learning a whole lot about, architecture in Ghana, the way it works. It's a little bit different in other countries because they experience, different weathers and that. So I'm having fun actually learning how things are done this way, and it makes it more kind of like diverse for me. So I know how to, work in China, and I know how to work in Ghana now, and hopefully when I'm done and maybe the COVID has, gone down, I'll be able to go do my master's. I'm wishing to go do my master's in Canada in interior design because I'm also interested in that as well. I'm just, learning what I need to learn for now and hoping to find a good scholarship in maybe Toronto, maybe. And yeah, I hope that goes well. So far, that's what's going on with me.
Maybe can you tell us a bit about your business?
So because I was, stuck here, I was home for a little bit, and I mean, I've always wanted to have my own business or my own like source of income apart from just like, working. And doing your national service, the pay isn't really that much actually. So yeah, I'm interested. I like cooking and stuff, I like making stuff on my own, watching. If I get interested in something or I crave something, I just watch videos on how to make it, and if I can make it myself, I would. So I started making smoothies at home for my mom for breakfast to work every day. And then, the thought just popped in my head. She would always tell me like how good they were. And the thought just popped in my head one night at like 3 a.m. in the morning. And I thought that, hey, maybe I could start a business, a smoothie business. But I didn't know how it would go for me, or I was sitting down thinking, okay, like where would I get the funds to like start in that? But so it was just a thought at that moment. But funny enough, that morning I was cooking in the kitchen with my mom, and she's like, hey, you need to start a smoothie business. And I was like, okay, then it's a sign.
Definitely.
So yeah, eventually, lucky enough, fortunately enough for me, I mean, I know a lot of people don't have that opportunity, but my mom was able to, fund me in the beginning. I was sending out smoothies to people's offices, people's homes, and some people would order, 20 smoothies at once. Wow. It was kind of overwhelming in the beginning because it's just me and my mom. So yeah, but it was fun because like I actually like to do it. It's not like, I'm just trying to make money. Like I like to do it as well. So now I'm doing my national service. I don't really have time to do it during the week. So I've made it in a way that people order the day before, and I make them early in the morning and I send them out. So I also make some for the people at my workplace, and they buy from me. So that's the way I make it work so far. But yeah, so far it's been so good. And yeah, that's it's called Francesa's Garden. I came up with the name. A lot of people like ask me why Frances, but that is my late grandmother's name.
Oh.
And I just thought, hey, my grandma has a fruit garden in the back, and her name is Frances, and I was like, Frances's Garden, and then I just run with it. Yeah, and then so I did everything myself, from my stickers to my logo and everything. I did all that myself because I am interested in like art and stuff. But right now, I'm just more into interior design and the architecture stuff of homes. I really wanted to go into like, designing people's homes. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Could you just like walk us through some of the challenges you faced on your, trying to get to China? Like, why China? How did China come up?
So the only thing I knew at that time was I didn't want to go to University of Oregon, and I didn't want to go to tech because it was too far. So eventually I just went to SIA, and I was like, you know what, I'm just probably going to do business administration, see how that goes for me. But when I was about to finish my first year there, my mom had met an agent that sent people to school in China. So my mom was like, hey, you always wanted to be an architect anyway, so do you want to like try it out? At that time, I was just kind of like, I've already started, like I'm going to second year, but you know what? Let me just, opportunity comes at once. So it was just kind of like, I'm you never know what happens. So let me just go. And so it just came to me, and I was like, okay, why not? So, I went, a few challenges I faced were no one is speaking English. Luckily, I went with another guy, so we were together the whole time. But if I'd gone by myself, it would have been like even worse. After 3 months of being where they sent us to, because when you go to China, you are supposed to learn the language for at least 3 months. Yeah, because in 3 months, you should be able to speak, like not too well, but good enough to take you around. So after doing that 3 months of being in a city in the south called Hunan. Yeah, Hunan. That's I think a lot of people know SIA. That's where they usually do Miss World, or I think Miss World or Miss Universe. I'm not sure. But we were in like the more rural parts of China at that time. And I didn't like it at all. It was very hot there. It was just not the best experience. And every day it was just the worst. So, but I didn't want my mom to feel bad or nothing. So I wouldn't really complain, but I was not happy. But after doing the 3 months, I found with the guy I went with, we found Chinese agents, like not Ghanaian agents. We found Chinese agents who actually look for good schools and scholarships for students in China. So that's what we did. And they gave me the top 2 schools. And the first one was in Wuhan. It was Wuhan University. And then the second one was North China University of Technology. So I went to school at North China University of Technology. That was the second best because they were the only ones that taught architecture in English. Yeah, it was a pretty small school. Then I didn't really have any friends or whatever. I missed orientation, so I didn't know where I was supposed to be. So in my first few days, I was able to communicate with the ladies in charge of our hostel. and they showed me the international office, and I was able to go to my classes. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make that many Chinese friends. I think I made just about two of them. So I wasn't able to have someone to be communicating with the whole time. In my course, I was supposed to learn your first and second year, you learn Chinese with the architecture, but your third year, because they know the architecture is a lot more, then they cut it there. So you should have learned it within the 2 years. But it was really hard to like balance the two. So I just knew that in the back of my mind, I was going to stay an extra year. So that would have been my 7th year in China to learn just Chinese. So far, that was like the real challenge, was when I wasn't able to go, like when my plans had to like abruptly change. I think that's what I would say is like was a proper challenge for me. Then, but every other time, I was good. You know, I was going to class. I stayed on campus, so everything was okay. We went on a lot of class trips. What I liked about architecture in China was it was very practical, more than theoretical. Everything that we did practically. Like, you know, they would take us to places to try it out, and we would just try them ourselves. So that was the good part. You know, no regrets. I mean, like everything happens for a reason, really. So that's how I go about my life.
Cool, very nice. Thank you, Sharonda.
Yes.
Next we have Samuela.
Hello, everybody. My name is Samuela. I'm studying general medicine here in Ukraine, Kyiv, the capital city. And right now, basically, I'm just like in school working on an internship in the US. So I came to Ukraine in 2016, September, because I wanted to school like abroad, and I had the options of Germany, China, and Ukraine. And then I had a cousin whose friend was here, and she, you know, told me to choose Ukraine. So I decided to come here. It's been great so far. Been a couple of challenges because of the language. I had to learn the language, which was quite confusing because some speak Russian, some speak Ukrainian. So like you don't know which language exactly to learn. That's basically what I've been doing, and that's basically what I've been up to. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, great. Thank you, Samuela. I think Harriet is back. Harriet?
So, hello. My name is Harriet Nkwe, and reading biochemistry and University of Ghana. Well, during my second year, I participated in a research internship at Noguchi, and I worked on a project on malaria. Then the next activity I did was I joined a class for data analysis with that's an organization known as Developers in Vogue. So they train ladies in IT. So I signed up for a class in data analysis. And I currently don't know what my career plans are, but I'm still exploring. That was one of the reasons why I took part in the data analysis. So I'm still exploring more ideas to see. So that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Cool. Thank you, Harriet. Then I think we have Nana.
Okay, so my name is Nane Fiasewa with my bachelor's degree. I finished my bachelor's degree in physician assistantship. That was in 2019. Currently, I'm going back to medical school, University of Cape Coast Medical School. So I'm offering Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. It's been a very short time since our last time we gave an update, but a whole lot has happened. I mean, we've met a lot of people who have impacted us in diverse ways, of which SIA Africa has been a very unique one, standing out and all that they've done. Basically, I'm just waiting to go to school. That's it. So I'm self-sufficient. So
Okay, great. Thank you, Nana. And last but not least, I think we have Juliet.
So my name is Juliet Mashi, and I am a medical student, fourth year in the University of Health and Allied Science in Ghana. It's in the Volta region. So that's what I'm doing currently. And because of COVID, we're at home for over a year, but during the lockdown period, we did come back to come and write the exams before we could move on to fourth year. And yeah, that's the new thing that's going on in my life right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Juliet. Next, I think we have Ronnie. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, your company, and what piece of advice you would share with the ladies?
Hi, everyone. So Ronnie Baylog. I used to be based out of New York. Now I'm in Florida. A little bit about me. I started my career actually in the U.S. military. I spent 6 years there. Worked for General Electric, then transitioned into the startup community and was the COO of a marketing tech startup in New York. Then later was the COO of a global consulting firm. Now I work for Blackstone, which is a private equity company, where I have a portfolio of companies that I work with to really drive operations to scale the business and grow. So I would say like my areas of expertise, if you will, are really around looking at growing and scaling companies and do so while kind of maintaining the cost base or doing that without, driving up the cost quite a bit. So I'm pleased to be here today. I know there's a lot of interest in kind of growing and scaling companies in the entrepreneurial world. I would offer to the ladies that are on here today a few things, right, in terms of advice. One is there's a lot of new venture capital funds that are really focused on either ESG, meaning looking for environmental and social government type missions, right? And I would say like in general, the concept of building infrastructure, any amount of infrastructure, including micro grants, especially for women, is something of real interest. The other area would be venture capital funds that are exclusively focused on women entrepreneurs and women founders. And what I have found kind of in the investment world is that the closer that somebody is to your customer base, the better off it is. We recently took a company public. You may or may not be familiar with it. It's called Bumble. It's a dating app. And Whitney, she's the youngest woman to ever take a company public. One of the things that there was a lot of what I would say public criticism for was that her board of directors is almost all women. And her response to that, which I think is very telling, was my customers are women. And so I'm surrounding myself with advisors who are very close to my customers, right? And so I would say to all of you, think about that in terms of when you are looking for funding and looking to scale and grow, finding an investor who is close to your mission or understands what you're trying to do will be very, very critical. Likewise, for those of you who are having challenges thinking about how to scale or how to grow, I'm happy to have kind of one-on-one conversations with you around ways to do that as well. So that's a little bit about me. Like I said, I have one foot in the entrepreneurial world and one foot in the kind of big private equity world, but very passionate about women founders.
Great. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Thank you. Next, I think we have Noel.
It's really nice to hear that the MTN share receivers are embarking in different areas of the world in medicine and the smoothie business. That's very, really proud of you. So just a little background about myself. So I am the CEO and founder of Noellery. We are a Hoboken, New Jersey-based jewelry startup business that I started around 5 years ago. so prior to doing Noellery, I was in financial services for an extended period of time, primarily in international taxation as well as wealth management. And I basically quit my job and started my own business. And a common question that I get is like, how did I get into jewelry? Because it's very different from my background, because I went to undergrad for finance. I went to grad school for real estate. I got certified in financial planning, and now I'm in this jewelry world. And it was one of those things where I was working at Globe Tax Services, which is a boutique tax company in New York City. And it kind of just dawned on me one day that I wanted to do something that was more on the creative side. And basically what I did was I saved some money and then I took the plunge. It was quite the risk, but it was probably the best decision I ever made. Like literally the best decision I ever made. And I attribute the success that I was able to achieve on my education. Really, my schooling and the mentors that had my back during undergrad and grad school really shaped the way I view the world and how I wanted to go about my life. So if there's one piece of advice that I could give these girls is, because you guys are in college, please tap into the resources that you have available on campus. That could range from the resources with your professors, with your academic advisors, the clubs that are available at your university. Be very active. Even this organization, SIA, seek out mentors and network a lot and lean in on your network while you're in college, because that's really, you get invaluable insight with the people that you engage with at your age. It's super important. And I think and I'm really excited to work with this organization and share my experience and offer any type of advice that I could give to you guys as you try to find your place in this world, whether it's in medicine or in business. That smoothie business sounds like me when I was a kid. So I'm very excited to work with you girls, and please reach out to me if you need any advice.
And then I think we have Maxine and Sally.
It's great to be with all of you. I've been with SIA since the beginning. I know Nene from my media days. I have been putting together investment surveys on African countries for magazines like Institutional Investor and newspapers like USA Today, and have been covering Africa for a while. And I have finally said to myself, I've made so many contacts, let me take that into the world of business development and using my network to build business bridges between Africa and the rest of the world. So I have, at this point, I didn't do it on my own. I am not a sole entrepreneur, but I am working closely. I am part of an executive team of African Discovery Group. Our CEO and founder is working with SIA to do whatever we can to bring businesses that will be interesting onto the continent of Africa. Nene has made some introductions for us, which has been great. And what we've managed to do in 3 years is bring some really amazing leadership businesses onto the continent, and private capital. We've listed the company. We actually have a $100 million market cap right now. And it's all very exciting. And I feel like what I have to offer this group is an understanding of working outside of Africa and inside of Africa. And I would like to mention one of the companies that we've invested in. It's called Ogele, and it is an amazing idea. It is the pioneer in online video sharing for African content only. It's kind of a YouTube and Netflix for Africa. And I would love to invite the girls to post videos, vocational videos especially about the smoothies. I thought that would be so interesting to post on Ogele about how to make a good smoothie, and especially with an African touch. Yeah, so I would like to be involved. If there is a need, perhaps we could take on interns. We'd love to. We work with several people from Ethiopia, from Nigeria, from Angola. And so we're open to having remote interns work with us and just continue to build bridges between Africa and the rest of the world, because we believe that Africa is the market to look at these days, and feel very strongly about it. So, and Nene, thank you so much for building SIA and continuing to include us. I am so proud of what you've done, and so proud of the girls, the ladies, excuse me, as well. And Ogele is www.ogele.com. I just put in the chat, but if any of the women are interested in interning with us, please, my email is there. Would love to hear more about making that contact. And we have lots to do. Interior design and real estate is very interesting. Fashion, especially for Ogele. So please do get in touch. And happy Women's Day to all of you. Enjoy your day.
Hi, I'm Sally Jennings. It's great to be a part of this. It's very impressive hearing everyone's background. I guess if I was trying to think of the best advice I could give people. I think if we've learned anything this year, it's about resiliency, being hit with unexpected things in our lives, rolling with the punches. And I just think that's, COVID really brought that to bear. But it's a good lesson for life just generally. I've had various jobs. I started out in journalism. I worked at CNN. Then my father had an opening at his company. So then I did commercial real estate finance. And now I'm a professor at NYU. I walked dogs for 5 years, had a huge business on the Upper East Side doing that. I think it's just about, rolling with the punches, keeping overhead low. If I'm someone with multiple interests and I'm fascinated in all sorts of topics. But also, that's my path. Other people's path is going, doing the straight line through med school, as I've heard some people say. But yeah, I think it's all about, if you get knocked down, get back up. And, having, different frying pans in the air all at the same time. So that's my advice. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Sally. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Nene, I think you would like to say a few words.
First of all, I want to thank everybody who was part of this today. And on behalf of the SIA family, I would just want to thank you all for being part of this maiden event to celebrate International Women's Day. I also want to acknowledge Maureen, who is just new to everything that is happening with SIA Africa. And in the 5 days that she's expressed interest, she's already come up with ideas on stuff that she wants to do with the organization. So Maureen, thank you so much for everything.
It's my honor. Really lovely.
And I want to thank everybody for your time, or for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today in celebrating all women around the world, but especially the 8 amazing women who are beneficiaries of the MTN shares we purchased in 2018. The idea of doing that was a commitment we made to ourselves to advancing and helping women create wealth. As an organization that is committed to inclusive diversity, and advocating for financial literacy, it is important for us to push women around the world, especially women from Africa, to be financially independent. And so today, we are really happy to have with us these dynamic women who, for me, have accomplished a lot since we first met them. Now, when we met them in 2018, the criteria that we just put out was very simple one, that they should have attended Wesley Girls High School. That's a prestigious high school in Ghana. And if you attended that school, then you qualified for the benefit that we were giving out. But it's amazing to look at all of them and to see the trajectory in which they are moving in. It's impressive to see that most of them have chosen the path to be in the field of medicine. And especially in these times where we all need lots of research people, a lot of doctors, a lot of healthcare workers. I'm really inspired, and I hope that all of us will continue to support these ladies in their endeavors, notwithstanding the ones that have taken to the entrepreneurial world. I mean, it's amazing to see how a simple idea of just enjoying smoothies, could just be transformed into a business. And anybody who knows me also knows that I'm very big on real estate development and city planning. So for somebody like Sharonda, there's a lot more conversation to be had in terms of design, planning, real estate, finance. But yeah, overall, it's been an honor. And as an organization that promotes the ideals of women, as demonstrated by our team, I couldn't be more happy today to have everybody who joined us today, including our new partners, all the people who signed up and are part of this today. So once again, on behalf of the SIA family, or SIA Africa family, I just want to say thank you to all of you for being part of this. And we look forward to doing a lot of things with you guys as we move forward.